Personalized Learning, a guide to engaging students with technology. My name is Peggy Grant, and I'm one of the co-authors of this book. This is my co-author, Dale Basye. Dale,
Hello.
tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you, Peggy. My career has been kind of varied. I started out in journalism and then in advertising, and then I started writing children's books. Then I started doing writing workshops for children, so all of those different professional career paths sort of led me to where I am today, writing about education technology. So Peggy, since you asked me that, what led you to this point?
Well, Dale, as you know, I was a classroom teacher for many years, and I worked in teacher education at the university level too. And I've always been interested in how you can get students to do more than just go through the motions when they're doing their work. They're just trying to meet the minimum requirements or just trying to get a good grade, and that was always a challenge because when you're teaching a subject, you're really excited about it and you want kids to do more than just do it because you told them to. And so I see personalized learning as a way to kind of find whatever it is about a subject that will get a student as excited about it as the teacher is. And so that's kind of the path that it got me interested in thinking about personalized learning.
And how did you implement personalized learning in your classrooms? I mean, this was a bit ago.
Yeah, well, one of the things, like, for example, I was a language arts teacher, and I kind of realized that in most cases, students don't have to be reading the same book all the time in order to get the same skills, and this is especially true with Common Core, where it's focused on a lot about literary analysis skills, and so kids can be reading lots of different kinds of books as long as they're getting the same skill out of them. And I believe that you can give kids a choice, and giving kids a choice is something that is very motivating, engaging. I know it is for me, even if most of the choices aren't things I want to do particularly well. I feel much better when I get to choose
Absolutely.
one.
It gives you equity in your own learning path, which is pretty much what personalized learning is all about.
Yeah, and I think it makes it more interesting and exciting, and it also, I think, which is one of the most important things, is when, as a teacher, when you start to grade student work, it doesn't all look the same, and I think that's important because it's important to keep the teacher interested in the topic as well. So, what would you, after this book, and we've spent a lot of time writing it and revising and editing it, and I know we're excited that people are going to be reading it, and hopefully it will make some changes. What kinds of changes would you like to see happen because of this book?
Well, I mean, I think, to me, it seems like some of the most substantial obstacles to implementing personalized learning, first off, are some misconceptions about what it is, but also it just seems like such a daunting task for a lot of educators today who aren't utilizing perhaps technology or a curriculum that can be supported by technology. So what I would love is just someone to be able to read this book and implement personalized learning in little ways and just see how it works in their unique situation in their own classrooms. I mean, it doesn't have to be this huge educational reform movement, although that would be great. But I mean, it starts in the classroom. So if teachers can just start with little things, such as having a student perhaps bring in an app, or I was interviewing a teacher who had a medieval block and he got the kids designing medieval villages using Minecraft. So I think if teachers can just open themselves up for allowing some of this technology and some of these, handing the controls over to the kids to take charge of their learning in little ways, I would love that, and I think then that way it can incrementally become more meaningful to how teachers are planning their curriculum.
You mentioned a lot of misconceptions and ideas, and I noticed that there are a lot of terms that are being bandied around: individualization, differentiation, personalization. How are you addressing those, and what do you see as the differences in how you express them?
Yeah, I mean, the differences are there's a lot of nuance to it, but I know that also when we were doing research, just seeing how some of these terms mean different things to different people. So that was one of my charges when we were writing the book, was trying to say, okay, these are the terms that we're going to be using to identify different aspects of personalized learning, such as individualized learning, which has to do more with the pace of how a student is learning, by what pace works best for them. Differentiated, which is taking into account the student's unique needs. And then personalized learning, which is kind of an all of the above, but I think think the aspect that makes personalized learning truly personalized is by inviting the student to help decide how they learn and what they learn. So yeah, I think those to me are the most significant terms to distinguish individualized, differentiated, and personalized.
Great. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say, or anything else you'd like to ask me before we wrap this up?
Well, I mean, I would like to see, I mean, of course, like I was saying, there are some obstacles. I mean, what were some challenges that you had when you were personalizing learning, or that you see teachers having that, you know, if we could address those challenges head on, then maybe we can come up with some workarounds?
Well, I think, to me, one of the biggest challenges is the whole structure of the classroom has been a certain way for a long time.
Right, the whole lecture.
Right.
Yeah.
And some students, in fact, often our very most successful students, are really good at that. They're really good at, you know, taking the lecture, taking the notes, memorizing, and giving them choices, giving them opportunities to control, and having them manage and be creative, and all those things that are really the pluses of personalized learning. For many students are really minuses for them. And it's going to take quite a bit of adjustment, and even for their parents as well, who may say, well, this isn't the way it's supposed to be, because this isn't the way it was when I was in school. And I think that part of it is that the students object because it's different. And another part, over which we have more control as educators, is that the students just don't have the skills they need to manage their own. They don't know about how to make good choices, how to set goals, even simple things, you know, like how to keep track of their work. They want their teacher to pass everything out, collect it every day.
Right.
So I think a lot of the responsibility for making personalized learning successful has to do with teachers preparing their students with the skills they need to do that. Self-direction skills, self-management skills.
Staying on top of their schedule.
Exactly,
type
right.
of workload.
Just a simple, basic things like that, which are certainly not useful just in school. They're more useful outside of the
Right, it's
classroom.
project management.
Right.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff is very useful. And you know, I confess, in my own classroom, sometimes just expecting students to care about what they're learning is seems like too much for them. Why should I care? And so a lot of that are things we just have to consider. There's certainly challenges. They're not things that should stop us, but they're things that if we don't think about them ahead of time, think about how we can address them, then they can make a good idea not turn out so well. So I think these challenges are all things that teachers can expect, and I think the key to beating them is to have everybody involved. When you start in a personalized learning program, and I know that's in our last section where we talk about a process, is that one person, even one principal, can't do it by themselves. You have to get everybody's input.
Stakeholders, yeah.
Right. Everybody has to have their say, and everybody has to agree and buy into it and have input, and then it's better for everybody.
Right. And then technology also can link educators and administrators with other educators and administrators, no matter where they are geographically, to start discussing some of the approaches that work best for them.
Well, I think that's great. I think we've very much appreciated you joining us, and we hope that you enjoy participating in our book club. And good luck with your personalized learning initiatives. Thank you.